Welcome back to the Who's at the Gates podcast. I, of course, am your host, KC Phoenix. And today is a major, major day. So happy that we live to see this day. And I couldn't experience this day without the woman who, if you hand her the evidence, she says it doesn't matter because she is still judge, jury, and executioner. The woman who believes that peace is what's best, unless it involves Eva or Izaiah. The one and only Diana.
Wow. Okay. That I was good with me being judge, jury, and executioner, but you had to point out two people who clearly have your bias. No, they don't get peace. I don't. What have they done to deserve that?
They are good people.
So
well, we're about to cover a few scenes today, Gators. And when I tell you, after these scenes, all I have to do is rest my case, and everybody's going to be like, wow, Casey was right all this time. And I'm like, yep, I called it. I felt it. I've been saying it. Here we are. So I want to go ahead and play this scene. We can call it Exhibit A for evidence. And we'll take it from there. Diana, do you have anything before I play this scene? And no, it's not AI.
I don't know who you and your little friend. What's her name? Kayla. Elise. Y'all, I don't know what you guys be doing to destroy this earth with fake scenes, but here we are.
I promise you, Elise did not cook this one up. Let's get into the scene.
Nope. I'm relieved I went through with the transplant. I seriously can't thank you both enough. Well, what did we do? Listen to me without judgment? If I had given in to my first instinct and walked away, I would be living with so much regret right now.
Regret is heavy. It sits in your heart and makes itself at home. I am so glad you don't have to learn that lesson the hard way.
Me too. It's wild. I keep thinking, if Eva had grown up with somebody like you, Gran, she would be a completely different person.
Well, that's an interesting thought. Sounds like your perspective on Eva is changing.
Is it? Okay, we're not gonna be braiding each other's hair or sharing lip gloss anytime soon. There's too much history, too much mess. But if Martin and Smitty and the kids can see something in her, if you can sit across from her and not roll your eyes, then maybe I can admit she's not the cartoon villain I made her out to be.
Well, from you, that's practically a peace treaty.
Don't make it bigger than it is.
It's okay, Catherine. You're allowed to evolve. And I'm sure Eva's feelings about you are just as complicated.
All right, Cat and Eva fans, the war is finally over. We have peace. We finally have peace between Cat and Eva. Cat, by her own admission, has now realized Eva is not the villain that Diana thought she was. Cat said it herself.
Laura's hospital bills beg to differ. That girl gaslighted Kat and lied straight to her face about her motives and intentions. That girl ruined her family. But I guess she's not as bad as we think she is, despite the fact that she continues to play victim about literally everything in her life. I don't know. To me, again, I don't think that Eva's done anything to deserve forgiveness. She just plays a pity card and then that's it. Like, we're supposed to expect that she's like, the card that she plays is, oh, I'm not as crazy as my mom. Like, you know, I get it. but she's there along for the, but that's her number one girl. That is her ride or die. So that's just like, I don't think she hasn't changed. Like she hasn't changed. She's always gonna stick up for her mom. She hasn't done anything to deserve forgiveness. And even this episode also made me mad because I'm like, let's move on. Like, if we're really gonna move on, then let's move on. I don't want to hear another damn thing about how Eva's messed up because she's alive. Like, okay, girl, give the liver back. Like, they had Izaiah and Rashad had a conversation about how, she's taking it hard and all that. Like, okay, give the liver back. Like,
Wow.
go to therapy or give the liver back. How about that? I feel like that's probably more middle ground for me, which is talk to someone professionally or stop complaining. I don't know. Just I can't stand how the writers are like almost insisting on having a storyline for her that to be honest is like irrelevant. Like, the tornado happened, it changed people's lives, okay, great, but now I want Bill to die. So like, don't keep on like try to make drama with Eva or like think that this is a compelling storyline. Like, I don't care. I really don't. If her and Eva want to be, Kat and Eva want to be friends, fine. But don't give me some sob story about how Eva is still recovering and how to do that. Look at Kat. Look at how she's launching a line in Japan, and she went to work like the second day. She bought a condo. Is she spiraling? Yes. But is she making the other people's problems? No. Except for maybe Tomas, but he deserves it. So I don't know. I'm just like, girl, I just can't.
Okay, so this is the thing, and I'll be completely serious for a moment. I'm not thrilled about this storyline per se. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm cool with Kat and Eva making peace. That's fine. I just don't necessarily agree with how they're going about doing it. I believe that it would have been better for Eva to have a complication with the liver. And it's almost sort of like how everybody rallied behind the man who refuses to die when he went through his little thing, like all of the families there. It would have been nice if there's a little bit of a complication, not a major one, but a little bit of one. And then where Eva is in the hospital and Kat goes to visit her or something like that, just to check on her and be like, hey, trying to make sure you're good. And also looking out for her investment as well, because she did invest part of her liver. So yeah, there's that too. But definitely, it doesn't have to be that either. I just would have rather something else happened where it's giving them the opportunity to get a little bit closer. Right now, even though she still has her guard up when it comes to Eva, this still feels a little too forced for me, a little too wrapped up for me, where it's like, okay. And again, I am one of those people where it's like, I don't like this. Like I told you, I don't like her just insulting Eva all the time. It's like, just pretend Eva doesn't exist or be friends with her. I still stand by that. Again, I just don't necessarily agree with how the writers are setting this up for them to be sisters. I called it that day Kat was walking out of Eva's apartment and smiled. But I still would rather them go about it a different way. That's just me.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're kind of better expressing what I'm trying to say, which is my biggest pet peeve is that people here are finding redemption without working for it, or there's no consequences from it. Like, I don't think Eva and Leslie has suffered any consequences. So why is it that we're just dropping this? Like, it almost feels like a waste of time for the first 300 episodes.
Yeah, well,
I want to see them both in jail for killing Laura.
Well, consequences is subjective because jail may not always be the consequences. Eva almost dying could have been consequences.
Okay. And out of that, she got a relationship with Kat that she arguably doesn't deserve because she didn't do anything to deserve that. She hasn't fixed her character. She hasn't admitted to people that, She was playing in Kat's face, didn't say sorry for sleeping with Tomas. Like, you know, there's just, I get, there's been nothing, there's been no, you know, there's just been nothing to show, in my opinion, that she feels sorry for what she did. Same with Leslie, because like Leslie's still acting the same way too.
Well, I'm glad you brought up the Tomas thing, because during this episode, Tomas was actually trying to have a little love in the afternoon with Kat, and Kat is like, oh no, I have to prepare for Osaka. And then Tomas is like, that's months away. And she's like, well, if we're going to be the best, we got to start preparing early, whatever she was saying. This is the problem. First of all, Tomas and Kat were not together. And Tomas even said that, because even people in the comment section that said, Tomas said that him and Kat were not together, because at the time they weren't. And again,
okay, you can't. Okay, there's a running joke where it's like, you ask a man if he's in a relationship and he says no, come to find out he's married. He's like, well, you never asked if I was married.
No. Because him and Kat were having an off moment, because Kat was running hot and cold when it came to the whole, are we together? Are we not together? And then trying to be intimate and all this other stuff. This goes to what happened on today's episode, where Tomas is like, hey, I took off early. I want to spend some time with you. Why couldn't Kat match that energy? And Tomas wasn't saying, oh, we got to do this all afternoon or that. Tomas is just like, how about just slipping away for an hour? If you are, and I know people are about to get offended by this, but I don't care. It is what it is. This is the truth. If your significant other has taken off time from work and is saying, yo, can we just spend an hour of some of the love in the afternoon time together? You're supposed to say yes, especially if you're in Kat's position. Kat didn't have to keep on working. It's not like she was on an hourly clock or whatever. She could have been like, you know what, baby, you took off for work today just to spend some time with me. Yes, I can give you an hour of my time. Let's go. That's all she had to say. That's all she should.
I mean, that is fine if that's what it was, but he got mad and stormed out, and he just didn't want to work anymore. It wasn't, he didn't take it off because of Kat. That's completely different. I would agree with you if, you know, she paid him dust, and it's like a reluctant agreement, because as Tomas also said earlier in this episode, Kat is very understanding of his work schedule. She, you know, she supports him. So if she has to grind and work, he should be supportive too.
I'm just not for that. I still, and regardless of the circumstances, if a man is asking you and he's like, hey, I'm off, let's get in some time, and you have the flexibility, again, if somebody, I'm not saying, well, even then, depending on what type of hourly job you have, if you're not on salary, I'll put it like this. If I'm good, if I have a good relationship with my quote unquote manager or whatever, I'll be like, yo, instead of me taking lunch right now, can I take lunch at such and such time if I know, so, you know, whoever's going to be off and this and that. I would see if I could rearrange my schedule a little bit. If I can't, it's like, okay, babe, I can't do it at this time, but we can meet up at this time. If I'm salary and I don't have any meetings, then okay, let's go. That's what it should have been. And she owns the company. She's part owner of the company. So she makes her schedule. And if she did not have any meetings, she should have been like, okay, let's go. It shouldn't have even been a conversation. And I'm saying that because people are trying to blame Eva for what happened. Again, Kat and Tomas were not together, but also because of shenanigans like this, what happened today, this is why you have trouble holding on to your man. That's what I'm talking.
It doesn't listen. It's partly Eva's fault. It's partly Tomas's fault. That first run around.
So we're not blaming Kat. You're not giving her some of the blame.
Not for the first time. This time, fine, sure, whatever. She needs to. This relationship is dead in the water. She should just call it. The first time, no, because Eva was being a hussy, saying like, "Oh, you want to read with me in my hotel room?" And Tomas, being the hussy that he is like, "Oh, for sure." She was dreaming about Tomas. She was planning it. She admitted to Martin. she wants what Kat has. When you have someone that is, coming after you in your life, you deserve some sort of blame. And
Lies,
Tomas deserves
lies,
a
and
lot of
more
blame
lies.
too.
Lies, lies, and more lies. No. Kat was on and off, hot and cold with Tomas. If that had not happened, Tomas would not have slept with Eva. So, okay, we can blame Eva, I guess, even though she had genuine feelings for Tomas. Okay.
I'm sure she did. She didn't have feelings for Tomas. She just wanted Kat's life, which she admitted. And
She had genuine.
Tomas was there. Tomas was even before they slept with each other. Tomas was doing Kat dirty by spreading, even when they were, as you said, hot. He was spreading his Kat's personal life to Eva, and Eva gleefully threw that in Kat's face. So that's why I also can't understand why Kat wants to move on. That's not my energy. I will remember that you wronged me and belittled me until the day I die. Like, you don't get any forgiveness from me. But if that's what Kat wants to do, and this whole Dupree family on this whole BS, we're powerful Duprees, but we forgive everybody, that's fine by me. That's just not what I would do.
Well, we can agree that, all right, Tomas is no good. We're fine with that. Even Dani, when Tomas was brought up, when Naomi brought up Tomas, Dani started laughing. Like, did you see the panic on her face when he proposed? Is that like Dani is like, no, Kat is not marrying Tomas. So we all can agree that Tomas is no good. All right, let's move that to the side.
And then only for her to be a two-face around and be like, oh, Tomas, you should really spend time with Kat. Like, I don't give Dani any grace either. Like, girl, let's.
Well, she was just being messy.
Yeah.
Dani was being messy because when Naomi told Dani what was going on, which we'll go into that scene eventually. But when Naomi told Dani what was going on, Dani was like, okay, let me try to get him out the office and do that. That's what Dani was doing, the Dani thing and stuff. So I'll give her grace on that. My thing is, though, all right, we agreed that Tomas is no good. We agreed that the storyline could be better with Kat and Eva reconciling, or whatever you want to call it. We could also agree that Kat has played some of a role in her relationship with Tomas and with Eva, with some of the things she has done.
Like what? What has she done?
Meaning like her approach, where she could have been more cordial in all of these other situations.
Why would she be cordial?
My point is, there's enough blame to go around. That's my point.
Not with Kat. At least not the first time that Tomas slept on her.
My word. What's the next scene?
You can't. Yeah, you'll never convince me that Kat, made him cheat. Like, oh, oops, I didn't mean it, but I can blame Kat for taking him back, and that,
I'm trying to get, there we go. All right. Speaking of no good cheaters, even though Tomas didn't cheat technically.
He did.
With Bill and Vernon, Vernon decides to stop by to check on Bill, but really it wasn't a check on Bill. It was like, okay, Bill, why are you playing with Dani's emotions again? In more words or less is what Vernon is talking about. And Bill is like, oh, so you weren't just coming to check on my health then? And Vernon's like, well, yes and no. It's like, what's the deal with you and Dani? And Bill started talking all this other stuff. And Vernon's like, I know a filibuster when I hear one. You still haven't answered the question. And Vernon made it clear that if Bill is up to his shenanigans, then it'll be a different type of conversation. Again, I respect Vernon because he is so cool with his approach to people. And he's very classy about it, too. He's much better than me, because I would have been cussing Bill out left and right. But Vernon, he didn't cuss Bill out. He just said, look, this is what it is. And I believe Vernon, where he might do certain things that make Bill's life difficult, where maybe he'll try and cut off some of Bill's contacts or connections and say, hey, don't do business with Bill, because I'm sure Vernon could easily do that because Vernon has the connections. But I also believe that Vernon needs to let Dani fall on her face. I can appreciate him doing the fatherly thing, coming through, having a conversation with Bill, letting Bill know what's up. But for me, overall, I don't think Vernon should do anything. Let Dani fall on her face. Let Dani deal with the consequences of her actions. That's just where I'm at. I don't know about you, Diana.
I agree. I mean, for the second part, I don't care that he went to the hospital and had this conversation. Like, at some point, your daughter is old enough to understand when someone is bad for her and when someone isn't, like through a whole. And if your daughter can't understand that after all the humiliation that she went through and the public turmoil and everything, then it's just kind of like, again, this is a lost cause. This is what was frustrating about the conversation yesterday. Like, just leave it alone at this point. Like, there's nothing, you can't even tell Bill what to do, right? Like, I think Vernon has had this conversation with Bill before, and look where they both ended up, in an elevator with their clothes off. I just don't think there's anything that he can do to make this stop. They're gonna do what they're gonna do, and that's what's so annoying about this.
Yeah, one thing I will say is that Jacob had it down to a T when he was talking to Andre later, where he was like, they run really hot, then they run cold. And he's like, something happens, and it's sort of like, I guess, the heat of the moment. And then all of a sudden, things, something like there's a crisis, and then they all get together and whatever. So he's like, this is just how it goes and stuff. I'm like, well, yeah, that might be the cycle, but it doesn't mean that it's right. So that's where I'm at on this one. But I didn't even want to play it because I'm so over this Bill and Dani thing. I'm just kind of done. All right, let's go ahead and get to the other scene because there's more vindication on the way with playing this scene. Just one moment, please. 29:17. Let's see where we're at on this one. Wait a minute. We can do it 16, it's fine.
Gotta say, that last Chelsea Cat promo hit. Now the one with the augmented reality filter where you can see yourself with the bag.
You saw that?
I get the company's notifications. I signed up when I bought a purse for my mom. First time in Hawthorne history, I gave the best birthday gift out of the brothers.
Stop lying.
No, I'm dead serious. Every church Sunday, somebody asks her where she got it, and she just has this big smile on her face while she says, "My Izaiah."
Oh, that's really sweet.
Yeah.
Well, we do have a new bag coming soon. Want a VIP preview?
Yeah.
Sit down. Thank you.
All right. So let me say this right quick. Once again, vindication has happened. Izaiah is not the villain Diana thought he was. Not only did he get his mother one of those expensive Chelsea Cat bags because he didn't say anything about getting it for free from Cat and Chelsea or any type of family discount. He paid full price for that bag. And Darlene is happy as she shows that bag off at church, even though I didn't think she went to church like that, but these are minor details. But she is happy when she shows that bag off at church, saying that not Jacob, not Luke, Izaiah was the one who got her that bag. And why did Izaiah get Darlene that bag? Because he loves his mother. He adores his mother. He puts his mother up on a pedestal, highest of the high, not higher than Eva, but still highest of the high, where he treats his mother well. But no, Diana says Isaiah's the villain. Izaiah treats his mother so awful when all Izaiah has done is just set boundaries because he loves Eva. That's all we're saying here. Vindication done. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
So all I got from the scene is that he just likes to complain.
Wow.
And that he likes to make himself a victim, which I've said before, which is why I think him and Eva go well together. Two victims.
What was the complaint? I didn't. All I heard was he got his mother a very nice bag, a very expensive bag. And also another thing too, another vindication. Let me throw this one in here. Him being able to afford that bag proves he has a job. Bam, take that.
Look, I know people with money doesn't mean that they necessarily have a job.
It does. He was able to afford it. He didn't use Klarna
You know what?
to pay. He used his regular cash. He ain't got Klarna.
You know what? That's right. We're not saying that he got it legitimately. You're just saying he has money, and that's fine. You know what? Because I don't judge people how they get their money. You want to sell something on the side, sell something on the side. You want to commit crime, it's, I'm just gonna look the other way and go to Costco. So you're right. You didn't say we don't know how he got that money. Yeah, I mean, that's great. He has a great relationship with his job, with his mom. So all this time that he's acting antagonistic and like they don't, like no one understands him, or he doesn't want to be part of that family and all that, only for him to try his hardest to get her a really nice gift. Fine, great. He's inconsistent at best.
What a world. On that note, go to the next scene. All right. Andre and Heather. Okay, give me 1 second. We're going backwards. We're jumping around in this one because, well, yeah, we got that going on. Okay, so 2030. All right, here we go.
We won't see you before you head back to London, so I want to...
Andre.
Yeah. This cannot happen. I'm sorry. This can't happen.
Since when?
Heather, since this... Goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye for now.
Before I go in on him and talk about how he always looks like he's about to break down and cry, let me be the first to say that what he did right there, even though Dani had nowhere to go, what she should have done was hold up her ring like he did and say this, like there was a kiss. So there was a kiss. Just like with the Dani and Bill thing. There was a kiss. But the difference is Andre held up his ring and said, this cannot happen. And then he got out of there. Now, like I said, Dani didn't have anywhere to go. Even though quiet as it's kept, I would have been so repulsed by Bill, I would have tried to climb out the top of the elevator. But that's just me. I would have found some way to get out. But yeah, this thing with Heather, like I just... I'm not thrilled that she's the person that is the past love interest, because you know what, Diana, I think I might let you pick this up because I don't.
This is going to be an annoying storyline already. Listen, I think Heather has like a lot of potential, but Andre, the Cowardly Lion, I don't want to watch that. Like, I really don't. Like, why is he trembling in his boots? Why is he so scared? For a person who, I don't know, appeared honest, I guess, this is just like throwing me for a loop. Like, just tell the Duprees. So, again, I'm just like, this basic woman that apparently is dangerous. Just tell the Duprees because they've been through worse. What's the point of being married into a powerful family if this is how she's got you? I'm very interested to know what proof I guess he has, or there's a flashback, right? In the flashback he tells this old white man, I don't know who the hell that old white man was, like, oh, I just met this girl.
He worked for MI6. He worked for MI6. Let's just say that he worked for MI6, even though he worked for the police department, but we'll just say he worked for MI6 because of the British accent. So yeah, keep going.
Okay, they didn't say that.
No, he did say police department. Yeah, he did. He worked on the force because remember he said I had to pack it up or whatever in my department or something. And he said either the police force or it was something with police, law enforcement.
Okay, but not, he wasn't a spy. Is that MI6? I thought MI6.
No, I'm saying he worked for MI6 because he has a British accent.
Oh, okay. So ignore Casey because he's just making it seem like that old white man was like someone more exciting than what he was. He was just an undercover cop. He was basically Rashad.
Wow.
with an accent. So for all we know, that man just stood by a wall and made love to his wife and was like, "Woof, let me call it a day." Hard work at the undercover factory. So Andre talks to this old white man and then he goes, "You heard this girl?" And the old white man goes, Wait. I can't. No. Don't bring her up. I went undercover. You're right. He did say I went undercover. The things I saw. Oh, you can't get messed up with her. You run. He's like, I saw a picture. And the old white man's like, don't even show me the picture. Don't just run away as far as you can. And then end flashback. So Andre has a picture supposedly of something that Heather did. And he's kept it all this time. And his plan was to go back to where his family was. I'm assuming Heather, they didn't know enough about each other. That's what's also confusing, is that they obviously didn't know enough about each other to know about each other's families, to know where each person came from and all that. But he went hiding in plain sight to like where his family was. Like none of this is really adding up to me. And this is also kind of why I hate that it was Heather, why it couldn't have been literally anybody else. But this is what we have. We have a plot line that so far kind of doesn't make any sense. This man scared by a picture and just his wife cheating on him. That's it. That's our plot. Does Andre deserve it? Yes.
My word. Okay. Again, this whole thing of scared Andre is just irritating me because you already know my sentiment. I made that clear in our last episode that we recorded, so I'm not even going to go over it again. Let's just hope that they can wrap this by the end of the month, where everybody knows everybody, in the sense of, okay, Dani finally knows that Andre and Heather had a thing, and even Vanessa and Joe, which that's going to be hilarious when Joey finds out. Oh boy. I'm very curious what Joey's reaction will be. That Andre had a tryst with his sister. Okay, let's move on to the next scene. Let's see, what is the next scene? Okay, yeah, which he been acting real brand new these days. All right, 2135. Let's play this one right quick and go in here.
Does it occur to you how important it is for him to rest?
Bill's my boss. I don't have the luxury of overruling him like you do, and even if I did, men like him don't respond well to being sidelined. Keeping that position from him would have felt like stripping away his oxygen.
Okay, whatever. I'm not asking you to defy a direct order, but in the future, can you please just keep me in the loop?
Take that up with Bill. If he wants me reporting to you, then that's his call. But I don't feel comfortable relaying private information.
Well, don't make it sound like I'm asking you to spy. Look, I am just trying to protect my dad from himself.
You know what? Maybe your mom was right. I think I should take the afternoon off.
Yeah, that's probably best.
Again, some of these storylines, I don't see why Naomi and Tomas are being forced to go at each other, when really I think the original Tomas, before this one came along, would have been cool with supporting Naomi being there for her father. Like, I know he has a loyalty to Bill, at the same time, I can understand where there could be a world where Tomas is like, you know what? Let's go to the hospital together and just have a quick conversation with Bill. Which Naomi might be like, oh no, he's not up for any type of conversation yet or something like that. I'd be like, okay, well then girl, you go talk to him. That's when Tomas could be like, okay, you deal with it. But I believe the old Tomas would have at least offered to have a three-way conversation to get it sorted out. Whereas like, look, I don't feel comfortable doing what you're telling me, but I do feel comfortable with the three of us just sitting down and having a discussion and doing that. That's kind of where I'm at. But I don't really care for the storyline either. I feel like the Bill Hospital Haley storyline is forcing other unnecessary storylines that the show, it could be better. Let's just say that. Diana, I don't know if you're seeing the same thing, but
yeah, I know, I agree with you. I mean, I think this is just something that's very, what's the word I'm looking for? I think it could be so much, it could just be better. Here's, I've like, I try as much as you think, I do try to read other people's opinions and perceptions on how scenes, play out. And before, when it came to Tomas and Naomi, my stance is just like, well, you just have to deal with the nepotism, right? Like, that's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then, just reading other people's perspectives, it's just like, in the other scenes, he came in hot, right? He's just like, what are you doing? You can't do this. This scene, now the dynamic is different, which is Naomi's like, you have to do this. And Tomas is like, I can't risk my job for that. And I can understand that, right? Like, now he's still bitter, like that, like, don't get that twisted. He still doesn't want to listen to her. He still feels threatened by her, but I think it's tone deaf, and not surprising from a family that's rich and has generations of wealth, at least, or, a few generations of wealth, that, they don't see that Tomas, someone who comes from a poor background, is worried about his job, right? They don't see that he's had to work a lot harder than they did to get where he's at, right? He didn't have those connections. He came in here through his own hard work ethic. And that's what's also kind of sad about this storyline, because I think Tomas could have been a well-written character, because you have someone who comes from a different background, right? He didn't grow up with a silver spoon in his mouth, not like these people, but this is how they're writing him, which is unfortunate. And that's how he and Eva connected when they were having their affair together. But that also wasn't well written, because Eva's just came from deception, right? Like, she was just deceptive from the beginning. He truly, this is just him. He was just being who he was and just wanted to talk to someone about it. So this scene kind of did rub me the wrong way. Even before I was even able to read the opinions, it did, because it's like, I mean, he has a point. He doesn't report to Naomi. He reports to Bill. And I don't care what Naomi is saying like, I'm not here full time. By the end of the year, she's going to be made senior partner, and Tomas is still going to be junior partner, which is, the way of the world. But they're, for all she's saying, she's lying to everybody. She's lying in his face. She's playing in his face. And
no, she's not. She's not playing in his face. She's just lying to herself.
Sure.
That's what's going on.
Sure. I mean, and this is where we're at. So do I think Tomas can handle it better? Yes. Do I think his feelings are justified? Also, yes. Because, again, nepotism, it's unfair. It's just that you have to deal with it. It's just in every aspect of life, like, nepotism isn't a good thing, because you have Naomi here who works out of a hospital, and it's just like, damn, she's gonna be the one, like, I have to take orders from.
Yeah, well, like Mommy Dearest said to Christina, no one ever said life was fair.
No, well, yes, you're right.
That's what she said, because she raced Christina in a swimming contest across the pool, and the Christina was only like, what, I think 8 or 9 years old, and she's like, it's not fair, you're bigger than me. And she's like, no one ever said life was fair. So it is what it is. If this man is not happy, he needs to go open his own practice, and I still stand on that. But we'll see what happens for Tuesday. I
can't believe it's only Monday. When you said that, I was like, ah. I was like, what do you mean?
Yeah, I just, I'll watch the episode, but low key, I'm just like, oh, will there be anything interesting happening in Tuesday's episode or for the rest of this week? Yeah, I need a scene with Leslie. Let's bring some fun to it. I hope Leslie's in one of these scenes. Oh yeah, she is in one, because Eva tells her that she needs to stop pursuing Ted, because she's like, how are you throwing away a sure thing for something that isn't even available, or whatever she was saying. Basically, she's telling Leslie again, like, Dad is not going to reconcile with you. Like, girl, let it go. So yeah, looking forward to that episode this week when that happens. But that's kind
of same and not same. Like, yes, but I'm just like, girl, just move on.
Oh, my word. Well, on that note, everyone, it's been a blast. Thank you again, as always, for the love. We appreciate it. We will continue to record and bring you the coverage of the Beyond the Gate show, good, bad, or indifferent. We will bring it. And we're glad now there is peace between Kat and Eva, so fans can rest, go on vacation, do something. When you're out and about, buy something for yourself to celebrate. Don't worry if you have the money or not. You can use Afterpay or Klarna. Break it up into payments and do that. By the way, Afterpay and Klarna, run me my check. So yeah, all right. Dani, did you have anything before we go?
That is terrible advice. And this is, y'all, hold on to what you have. Do not put a margarita on Afterpay in case he's telling you. Keep your coins, because it's going to get rough out there. I'm going to be starting a coupon channel. The opposite of what Casey's telling you. And it's going to stand for truth, justice, and scamming these companies. So, except for P&G, because we love P&G, but secretly, well, we're getting detergent for cheap, y'all.
Yeah, I mean, Diana gives her advice, but my thing is, you can't take money with you. So whatever's left over is either going to go to family, who will more than likely spend it on frivolous things, and then the wealth will run out after the third generation, or it'll go to the government, who will definitely mismanage it and do whatever. So you might as well spend it while you have it, or spend it while you don't have it too. That's all I'm saying. All right. Well, Gators. Until next time.
Bye.